Good morning. It's a lovely sunny morning, guys, here on the farm, and I'm just going to show you something quite scary. Well, over a period of time, I'm going to keep coming back every 10 minutes or so and show you our zombie snails. When I say zombie snails, they're the apple snails, but if you were to get a little bit tipsy here and fall into one of our snail ponds, you would get eaten alive. So, just going to demonstrate how scary these things are. This pond here, which I'm sure some of you have seen before, is home to many snails. But they're incredibly small at the moment. They're growing very fast. That's not a snail. They eat anything almost. So during the day, they're normally eating the algae and any other plants that we've got in there. But our friend in the local village, who's got a market stall in the Saturday market, he always leaves his bags of old vegetables out for Toon to collect on our Ben-Hur chariot. So I'm going to put a couple of bits in the pond for them and then come back and show you the devastation. Right, we're going to just move this out of the way. And put it, I might weight it down, but normally they get on top of it and then pull it down. We'll see. Let's get another couple of bits. So we usually give them papaya branches, banana plants, MSG plant, what else? The pak bung they eat. So, really, they do eat almost anything. Let's use one of Toon's lovely rocks that she found. Okay. Right then. That won't take long at all. Sometimes you get the tadpoles coming on here as well. The guppies are first to have a butcher's. There's quite a few in here now. We're going to have to thin them out a bit. But you see one snail already making its way over. That's quite a nice sized snail. These apple snails grow so quickly. It's hardly surprising that you know, they're classified as an invasive species. I know in America they've got terrible trouble out there. You guys have got, and yeah, I think it's past the point of no return. You can't control them. I know around here the numbers are dwindling, but in the farmland because chemical use is just horrific. So they use strong chemicals to kill the snails and the crabs, and this is why this sort of food is becoming, I wouldn't say scarce, but it's becoming quite a good venture to get into, and there's just a ready-made market and demand for these snails. So it's one of our better things that we've decided to grow. So much so that I think we're gonna let our bullfrogs go free. We let our turtles go free into the lake, and they've set up home in there. But I think we're gonna let our bullfrogs onto the lake as well. We must have about 1,000 in this pond here. It's just ridiculous, and they've done their job. They've gone over into the orchard over there as well, but they just keep banging out the kids. So yeah, we think we'll get rid of the big ones and pop them on the lake. They've already populated the ponds outside near the house, so yeah, we can grow thousands and thousands more snails in that tank. And if we want to eat bullfrog, then we'll just put a trap out and get them that way. You can just see the snails starting to migrate towards their breakfast. This will be absolutely smothered very soon. There's another one up underneath. They're all coming now. So they're the apple snails. On the hyacinth, we've got hoi com, or we call them hoi jub. They're a lot smaller snail. The hoi com actually don't lay any eggs. They have the eggs inside them, and then they hatch inside, and then they spit them out. Whereas the apple snails, they lay the eggs on vegetation. Actually, although these are very, very young snails, they've already started to reproduce. I'll just show you. During the evening, when they're ready to lay eggs, they'll just come a few inches out of the water. If it's full on rainy season, then they'll come out quite high. The eggs don't die if they get wet, but they don't want to be staying submerged. So if the water level rises, then they won't make it. Some of the snail farming experts out there will tell you that you don't really want to be keeping your eggs that are laid by the adolescent snails. For one thing, you don't get that many eggs, but also they say that you start to weaken the gene pool down. Well, I don't know whether that's the right terminology, but you want your full size specimens to be laying eggs and collect those. So I don't know. But these, as they hatch and they drop into the tank, the others will eat most of them anyway. Whereas the big snails, the eggs that we get from them, we keep them in a separate tank. And when they hatch out, we keep them in there and feed them up for a couple of weeks until they're about the size of a pea. And then we'll introduce them into a tank. Oh, there's a bullfrog tadpole there. Look at that, it's like a train of snails coming. See, some of them just detach themselves. When they want to get somewhere quick, they detach themselves, invert, and just float. Okay, so we're going to come back in a few minutes, and then I just think in regular intervals you'll see the snail numbers increase on top of the vegetation, and then eventually you just won't be able to see the cabbage. It'll be totally smothered until it's all eaten. Okay, so about an hour and a half into it, and the cabbage is just about gone. We're at the situation now where the snails are still in position, but they're tending to move away from the last little bit of remnants that's left over. So I'm quickly show you with the camera. So the motto of the story is, if you come to visit us, don't get so drunk that you fall asleep in one of our ponds that got the snails in, because our zombie snails will eat you.
Yeah. Oh, good food for snail, isn't it? If someone piss. Wow. Can put in the water or not? Wow.